session. Okay, so last time we had done on how to identify kids. Okay, again, I don't know who my audience is much. Okay, so but I am assuming that all of y'all have either tried some general methods of teaching, either as parents or as teachers, and you are looking for more fine-tuned methods. Okay, I'm also assuming that you're past the stage of just initially getting into this field. Okay, so I'm not going to go too much into introductory concepts. I'm skipping all that, and we are going to go straight into the actual teaching of the child. Okay, when the child is in front of you, and when you have pressures of the school and marks and tests, and you have limited time frame, and everybody is telling you my child needs to pass, what are you going to do? Okay, so that is a crucial question. See, in the old, I don't want to say olden days, but in the old way of thinking, uh, remediation was supposed to be pure remediation. So, what is pure remediation? Pure remediation is when I do fun activities. Okay, I tell the child, what would you like to talk about? Or I tell the child, what would you like to write about? What's your favorite thing? What's your favorite sport? What's your favorite activity? Come, let's make a story about that. Okay, so that is what a professional might say. If you go to a learning disability center, they might say, oh, we are very sorry, we do only pure remedial, we don't do academic based. Okay, they might tell you, you will have to see to the chapters, we will see to the skills. Fine, it makes sense. The philosophy behind it is that there has to be a generalization, there has to be trickle down effect. What you teach here has to generalize everywhere else. Okay, that is the principle behind it. The principle is perfect. It makes sense. If you teach a child sounds using the words they know, they understand, they enjoy, they like, they're familiar with, all the more easier. Sooner or later, the child should be able to find the same kind of application in new words, whether it is literature or science. Okay. So that is the principle. The principle is correct. It works very well. When a young child comes in, we don't have pressures of academics, chapters, exam. We have the luxury of doing things the child enjoys. Okay. But as the child grows older, when the child is in, say, higher primary, fourth, middle school, fifth, sixth, seventh, at that point in time, we cannot do cat, bat, mat. And we cannot do, oh, is cricket your favorite topic? Come, shall we write about cricket? No, we don't have the time. Every 3 months, there is an exam. Okay, so the mothers, the fathers, the parents will understand this quandary very well. Okay, they would have been in that situation where they have to get their child to perform and it is not happening. And as special educators, we tend to be very firm with the parent. Please don't pressure us for academics. Please don't pressure us about the exams. We have our own system, we have our own time frame, we know what we are doing. Kindly be patient, kindly cooperate. Okay, so that is where we are coming from. Anyway, over the years, as the number of children are increasing, as the prevalence is increasing, we are having so many children coming that it is almost impossible now for us to do it on a comfortable basis. Okay, we have to really pack in our time, and in that time, we have to do the maximum we can. So, we have over the years started bridging the way we teach. Okay, we have started adjusting. We have tried to say, we'll do a little from here, plus we'll do a little from there. Okay, fine, you're struggling with science, fine, we'll try and do a bit of reading there. But overall, we are going to do something very general. Okay, we can't be stuck only with science. Over the years, we have evolved into a kind of a balance. Okay, a fine-tuned balance. This balance will not come immediately. Only those who are very well experienced in the field will tell you that they are able to swiftly juggle between techniques and content and material and goals. But I want you to learn how to do it. Okay, I want you to be aware of it. I want you to understand how you can straight away help a child who is quite big. You can straight away help a child, and that help can be directly related to the schoolwork, right? So that is what we mean by saying curriculum. Curriculum is what? Syllabus. Curriculum based remediation. So remediation is the rectification process. Okay, we are going to base it on the curriculum. How is that possible? Come, let's begin and we will see how to do it.
Ma'am, can you increase the volume? My
Yeah,
niece is
sure,
asking if
sure.
it's not audible. So,
You should have told me earlier. Okay.
okay. Shall I start the next slide?
One sec, one sec. I'm just getting this volume thing. Mm, Can you stop sharing for a minute?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this better?
Oh,
Is it better?
yes.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
able to see the screen?
Yeah, I can see the screen.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody, if you all can't see the screen or there's any issues, do let us know. If you can't hear or if you want me to be louder or softer or whatever, you can please tell me. As always, I appreciate it when you have something to say. Okay, very, very tiring to listen to one voice all the time. Uh, Please come up with whatever thoughts, whatever ideas you want, whatever you want to share. Let's go through this together. Then it becomes much more clearer. Okay, whatever you want to say, usually everybody wants to say, but they don't know whether to say or not. So don't hesitate. Okay, that will give a nice break in between when we have something to discuss about. Okay, so today what I plan to do is I'm going to just go through these things. I'm going to try and share with you the things we have tried. I'm going to go take you back to square one because when you always have a problem, you must go back to square one. Okay, then we'll try and understand what is the theoretical basis for remediation. Okay, sometimes we tend to just jump into the doing of it all, uh, forgetting that there is a purpose, a plan, a method, and a system. Okay, then I'm going to actually hit curriculum based remediation. Okay, what, where, why, what? You can ask me whatever you want. Okay, I hope I'm audible. Yes, okay, lovely. Okay, so as parents and as teachers, I know you have tried many things. I know you have tried many things. Okay, you have asked the school to help. You have sought the help of the management, the teachers, principal. You have tried to, at home, you have tried so many things. You have tried to reduce the study time. You've tried to adjust. You've tried to, you know, come create some kind of a balance. I know you've tried the emotional aspects, trying to be patient, encouraging, motivating. Perhaps at some point in time, you thought you could help a child to help your child. Okay, that find a buddy, place the child next to somebody who the child responds to. Yes, we've also tried to keep ourselves going. We've tried to motivate ourselves, and so many people around us, our family members, have told us, don't give up, try harder. We're near the breakthrough. And then, of course, we've tried, reward and punishment. Like really, sometimes cajoling our children so much. Uh, and sometimes we get so wild, we just tell them, no, you can't do this. That's it. I'm stopping you from sports. That's it. No more music. So we have tried lots and lots of things. Okay, let's see what next. Yeah, so the system of special education can feel quite overwhelming. Okay, it's a very, very new field, it's a vast field, it's a new world. I really warmly welcome you to this world. All of you who are just entering, just becoming, training to be special educators, I welcome you to a new world, a world that will qualitatively change your life. But with the right tools and information, you will manage your child's education just fine. I assure you. We have loads of parents who will tell you this. Okay, they have been able to manage their child's education by finding the right balance. Okay. Okay, so always when you have a problem, you must step back a bit. Okay, you must take a few steps back to where it started. So you must go back to square one. Sometimes when you start something, you get caught up in it. Okay, and then actually you're going the wrong direction, or you've not got a good clarity, and you just keep trying, and nothing is working. Okay, so when that happens, you just step back, take a few steps back, and ask yourself, let me go back to square one. When did this start? How did this start? If you do that, you will get all these questions answered. Okay, where, when, why, how, whom. Okay, then you have to go to this right side thing. Keep this little thing in mind, this problem solving circle. Okay, we are at identify. You must identify the problem. Of course, it's a big mess. Now it's a big mess. The child is
Super.
playing,
Amaga ಊಟ ಕೊಡು.
the
Mama,
teachers are
hutukoro.
troubling,
Appaji,
the child is troubling, the relatives are asking questions. Now it's become like such an emotional issue. Okay, but you have to step back and identify now what exactly is the main problem. Everything has become mixed up. Suddenly the child is not talking properly, not behaving properly, the writing is bad, refusing to do homework, failing. So the pictures become very hazy. It's become all muddled up. You need to step back and identify what is the main issue. You have to decide that. We cannot decide it for you. Okay, you are the parent of the child, and as the teacher of the child, you have to ask yourself exactly what is the main thing that is troubling me about this child's challenges. Okay, next. Identify the problem correctly. Okay, that's a main big problem we have. We have when we ask the mother, so what is the main issue? They're not able to give an answer. When we ask the father, what are you concerned about? No answer. When we ask the school teacher, she has complaints A to Z. It doesn't help. It's not going to help anybody. Identify, is it a reading problem? Is it a spelling problem? Is it the handwriting that is affecting the spelling and the other problems? Is it the recalling answers? Or is it just the writing long answers? You need to be very clear on this. Perhaps it is none of these. Perhaps it is purely a time constraint. Perhaps your child is needing more time to process language as our LD kids do. And that time constraint is all that is needed. But nobody's thought of it. Okay, nobody has said, take a day extra to complete your notes. Take a child's book home, write it. You need extra time for your test? Sure. You write calmly, okay? When you finish, you tell me. Other kids, you can go. Perhaps we never thought of doing things that way. So we never realized, oh, it's only a time constraint, perhaps. Perhaps it's a quantity issue. It's not that your child is dumb or your child cannot absorb what other kids. No, your child is very clever, very smart. You reduce you reduce all this. You try and reduce the quantity. Okay, try and reduce the quantity. Am I audible? Am I more better audible now?
for me, it's fine. For others, I don't know.
Okay, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay. um yeah, okay, good. I'll
Yes,
talk a bit
you're
more.
audible, Reena. It's
Yeah,
quite clear.
thank
Yeah.
you, thank you. Okay, so you need to identify the problem correctly. If you go wrong at this point, it goes into a spin. If you say, no, see, the behavior is the main problem, I can't manage the behavior, you will go to the wrong spin. You will be sent to a psychologist, you will be sent to a behavior therapist. Meanwhile, it is only a reading problem. Meanwhile, it is only a recall of long. Can you imagine if you don't identify the problem? Yeah, this is the main issue. Okay, so explore the whole thing. Explore what are the main areas out of the whole thing. These are the few things that are really coming in the way of a smooth daily routine. Okay, next. Define it. Define it. Say it clearly. Don't say, oh, I think, and this, also that. All these things are, no, 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 no. You have to define it. You have to say, I think my child's main problem is low attention. Or my students' main issues are with recall. Or my child seems to lack interest. Or if my student could read faster, perhaps comprehension won't be a problem. Or my child writes so slowly that everything else is such a hurdle. If you can come to this clear definition of the problem, nothing technical, nothing technical. You just have to narrow down. Now, I told you it's become such a big issue now, everything is a problem. You have to narrow it down and say, okay, most of the time, this is the main thing. I find that when this is okay on those days or in those for those tasks, the rest of the thing settles down. If you can do this, it would be a starting point. Okay, see that little oval down. Baseline data is where we begin. Without baseline data, we can't do anything. We can't do anything. So even you teachers, when a child comes before you, a new child, it's not enough to say that, okay, this child is in fifth standard, this child is in fourth standard. No, you need a kind of a baseline data about the child. You can't just say, oh, fifth standard, oh, bring the fifth standard book. Sixth standard, okay, bring sixth. No, no, no. You need a individualized baseline data. Okay. So this kind of a thing where we need to identify the problem, define it clearly, then only we can start figuring out what to do. Till such time, you are merely dabbling around. I did little spelling, I did little phonics, I did reading, I'm doing worksheets. Or somebody told me to go to this website. Very nice. I was doing. Won't work. It will work for 1 2 days. Oh, child will be thrilled. You will be thrilled. Everybody is, oh, she's improving. She's doing everything. After 1 week, it's going downwards. After 1 month, nobody is interested anymore. Okay, so explore the whole whatever. What are the possible things that can be done? Okay, next. Fine. So the first thing we need to know is what is remediation. What is remediation? This is for teachers, okay, classroom teachers and school teachers. I want you to know that there is a facility, a service, and a resource called remediation. Remediation means it's taken from that word remedy. Okay, it means to remedy the teaching. It means teaching the child again. Usually, when the teacher does a chapter, that's it, over. No question of teaching it again. Okay, and if you ask one or two, many times, whatever it is, even if you ask, they get irritated. Already I told you, why can't you listen? Remediation means teaching again and again and again. Reteaching. Okay, I taught that way, it didn't work, I'll teach this way. Correcting or improving what did I miss out last time when I taught the child? What did the child not pick up last time when I was teaching? Let me rectify that. Teaching in a different way. Okay, you didn't understand that way. Okay, fine. Okay, now come, we'll do it another way. Okay, now this time I will read. You tell me if you don't understand. Okay, just try some different kind of an approach. Focuses on the specific omissions of the first time round. It's not a question of, oh, again I have to teach, oh, this one, how many ever times you tell it's not enough. No, it is not like that. It is an understanding. I taught it. I thought it was quite okay, but child is saying she didn't understand. Maybe I should break down this step into some more steps. Maybe I should ask the child at this step to repeat what I had said. Maybe I should leave off these additional steps. Let me start with only these steps. To understand what was the omission the first time round. Okay. To remedy a weakness in an area. Okay. For this thing, she finds it very difficult. For that, he finds it hard to understand that. Or he doesn't like to read orally, but silent reading he's able to do. Okay. Or she doesn't like to spell orally, but she writes correctly. Or she doesn't write it correctly, but she says it fine. Okay, to remedy the weakness in one area. So it is different from tuition and extra coaching. The tuition teacher will say, I am reteaching everything. How many times I am doing? I am ready to do 100 times also. It's not going to help if you do it 100 times. Unless you do it this way. Unless you say, what was the thing that was missing last time? In what different way can I teach? What was the omission that happened last time? Which is the weakness for this child? That is why we say tuition is good and it's fine and it helps everybody, almost everybody. But one or two kids, if it doesn't help, it's better you explore this option of remediation. Well, I'll tell you the mistake parents make. For many years, they will resist remediation. They will prefer tuition teachers and they will change from one tuition teacher to the next. They are so persevering in that. But they will not go for remediation because there is some kind of a hesitancy. Now we know that word vaccine hesitancy, so we can say, okay, there is some hesitancy to opt for remediation. There is some kind of emotional pullback that parents experience. They don't want to accept that final stage that my children or my child can't learn the way other children are learning. They find that very hard to swallow. So they will try tuition teacher to tuition teacher to tuition teacher until it does not work and they feel, and everybody pressures them. No, we are going to make a child repeat. After two repetitions, your child has to leave the school. Okay, it's time for your child to leave the school. Then only they will say, okay, fine, tell me what to do. I'll do it. This time I'll do it. So when parents disagree with us, we generally just give them the space to discover themselves. Okay, we just allow them to go away, and we know they'll come back, and we hope they'll come back in a few months. Most often they come back in a few years. Yeah. So after some years, we'll see them and we'll be like, oh, I assessed the child that time. What were they doing? Okay. Next. Okay. So this is our Brindavan, and these are our teachers enjoying their work and enjoying the children. So this is how the remedial process happens. Okay, we will sit with one child, two kids, sometimes four also, and we are aware of each child's deficiency, each child's lacking. We are aware that the last time round what went wrong. We are aware of what gap has to be filled. Okay, yeah. So why remediation? Many parents, many regular teachers are asking us all the time, but we are doing so much. Why all this? You tell us what to do, we will do. We are trying everything. We also have read up. We also have done a course. We also know. So I'll tell you why. Teaching should not only focus on transmission of knowledge. This is a basic misunderstanding. Fifth standard, push in all the fifth standard information, send to sixth standard. Sixth standard, push all that information into the child's head, send to seventh standard. It's not a transmission of knowledge, it is an acquisition of learning skills, of solving problems, of understanding the child's own capability and capacity. That is what teaching is should be about. It is not about the quantity. It's about the qualitative process that is going on. guiding children to recall the main points in verbal or written form and to teach them effective ways of learning. Okay. Uh, Usually, when people teach, they think their part of the work is over. I thought, of course, I thought. I finished all my portions. I finished well in advance. People think that teaching is a one-way process where I give the child and it stops there. But it's not. It's a two-way process where you have to see if the child has learned. You have to guide the child to recall the points. You can't say, I gave you no question answer, study. As parents, we can't say, why you didn't study? It's there, not in your book. Why are your marks so low? Everything is there for you. We have given you the best school, the best books, the best everything. What is there? The part, the part and parcel of teaching is helping the child to learn. The child has to know how to recall these main points. Simply we say study, study, study. They don't know how to study. Okay, that is a great discovery for everybody. They don't know how to study. No, children don't know how to study. You'll be surprised. Simply we force them to sit, hold the book. They'll be holding the book. Don't know what they're doing. Children with language learning difficulties are less competent in understanding written language. It is better to accept this. Children with learning difficulties are less competent in understand. It's very difficult for them. You must understand they are already struggling with reading, writing, or comprehending. It's very hard for them to handle written language. Okay, so you just give the notebook and you say, okay, here, word meanings, short answers, long answers, this, that, do it. Written language is a different language altogether for our children. For us, it is, yeah, if you can speak, you can write. If you can talk, you can write. If you can say it, you can write it. No, the child, the learning disability issue is this, that the compartments of the brain are not well connected. Okay, there is some kind of an impairment in the neurological areas. Therefore, one area of language may be very well developed, the other area won't be. If oral language is well developed, you cannot assume written language is a breeze. If the child is good at writing or handling written language, you can't assume that oral language will be a great thing for the child. Okay, so children with learning difficulties are less competent in handling all the areas equally. Frequent frustrations in pupils with learning difficulties may gradually cause them to lose interest. This is our greatest fear. This is our greatest fear. If they lose interest in learning, your work is double. If there's no motivation, it's very hard for us. So before they reach that point, before they reach that, somebody is unmuted. Somebody is unmuted. Who's that? Okay, okay. Mute yourself so that even if the family members come in or disturb, it won't affect. You don't have to worry about it. Okay. So it is a great concern for us that before the child loses interest, we have to catch the child. Okay. Um, if we don't, the frequent frustrations build up and they start getting very demotivated. And then it is a very, very difficult task for us. You know why? Because our goal will shift from the content to the behavior. Our goals start having to change. We have to spend more time on the behavior, the motivation, the encouragement, and everything is a much slower process. Okay, next. Okay, lovely. So let's do something a little more technical now. Okay, the reason why remediation works is because we stay focused. Okay, it is not that the tuition teacher is lacking in any way. There are some excellent tuition teachers who bring out the best in everybody. Whichever child comes, they improve. Remediation stays focused. We create a program specifically for the child, See, it is geared to the learning needs of individual pupils. It aims to reinforce the foundation of learning. Often we don't go into the back to the foundation. We straight away go, oh, child is in third standard, let's do third standard work. We don't go back saying the spellings are a problem. Shall we do some phonological awareness tasks? Shall we check into this area? Shall we do some perceptual worksheets of visual memory to help the child recall these irregular words? We don't do that. We just say, oh gosh, new lesson, new chapter, write down the words, start. It helps pupils overcome. Okay, it's very hard if you don't get your foundation proper. If you don't have that basis, you cannot overcome. You will be just coping from this step to, it's all like situation based. Fifth standard cope, sixth standard cope, seventh standard cope. No, but if you do it in a remedial process, the foundation is established. We keep checking the foundation. Every time we sense there's a deficiency, we'll go back and develop their potential. They cannot improve much if they are not, if their foundation is not good. They will just be coping. Today's 10 words they will learn for this week, this month. They won't be able to, in leaps and bounds improve. The IEP should include short term and long term objectives. Whenever you work with your child, always think to yourself, right now, what am I hoping to achieve? And what is the long term thing? It should tally. It should be on the same path. Okay, you can't do something writing here, and but you want the spelling to improve, or you do question answers one side, but you want comprehension to improve. You see, you have to plan it. That everything is okay to ensure that the program is implemented effectively. Now, see on the right side how precise it has to be. Okay, it says by what, within what time frame. Always have a time frame. Don't be scared. Don't say, oh my, supposing I put the 3 months, can anything happen in 3 months? So many years, nothing has happened. Can I put 1 month? What? Yes, put it, put a time frame. Otherwise, nothing will happen. Put a time frame. What you want your child to do? The student will what? Be specific. Did you say the problem was in reading? Then ask yourself, what would you like your child to read? Would you like your child to read just the questions in the notebook? Lovely, fair enough. Put it down. Child will be able to read the questions in the notebook. Okay. Then, in what situation do you want to test it according to? Do you want to check it according to what class notes have been given? Do you want to check it according to the notes you have prepared? Some simplified version? Fine, perfectly fine. Okay. As measured by, who's going to take that? We have parents saying, my child can do, my child can do. I promise my child can do. My child is doing at home. And we feel so sad to tell them, we do believe you. We believe that your child does it with you. But we need to see how the child does it out of the house. Right? We need to see how the child does it with other people. Um, it's very heartbreaking for us to say that, we understand your child is so much more better inside the house, but the truth of the matter is we have to write down what we see. And if we don't see what you are saying you see in the house, then it's not, we cannot accept it. Okay, it is has to be something observable by everybody, as measured by who. So will will my colleague test my child? I teach my child the spellings. Am I okay if my colleague checks? So today I teach and I tell Vijaya, these are the words I've taught. And she will check the child. She will give the dictation. And then I'll tell Jayashree, he's been reading all this. And Jayashree will call the child and say, come, shall we read all this? And what they observe is the true learning. Okay, so parents, enough of this. Only he doesn't do the teacher. He does very well. He does very well with me. Today, you must understand that if the child is not doing with the teacher, the learning has not been complete. It has started, fair enough. It has started. The learning is not full, it is not total, it is not complete. It has to go that extra mile so that everybody says, yeah, he knows all these words. Did you see he knows? Did you see he knows? Did everybody saying, yeah, he knows these words? Then you know, yeah, child knows these words. Okay. With what accuracy? That also is a beautiful aspect. We don't want 100%. Nobody wants 100%. You fix it. You want 50%? Right now, what is the accuracy? Is it 20%? Okay, we'll do 30%. We'll do 40%. You see, it's a very keeping the sensitivities of the child in mind. It is not some pressurized thing. At the same time, it is very precise. Okay, and what is this last one? I can't see this. Okay, yeah, saw it. Okay, with what all supports? So, can the child, what kind of supports do you want to have the child to have? Maybe you would like the child to revise and then write. Okay, great. Maybe you would like the child to write it once and then spell it. Fine. Maybe you would like the child to read just a few lines and stop. Or maybe you would like the child to do a silent reading before the oral. Fine. Okay. So you can it gives you the freedom to do whatever you want, provided you have a plan. Nobody is telling you, oh, we can't do this, we can't do how to. No, you adjust it to your comfortability, you adjust it. But it has to be precise. You have to adhere to that. You have to keep it in mind. You have to keep track of it. Okay, so this is the beautiful way in which the remediation stays focused. In any other scenario, we would say things like, yeah, we finished chapter 1, we finished chapter 2, we finished chapter. It's not enough. You finished. But what about the child? How much can the child do? You may have finished. Has the child finished? Okay, that's the question. Has the child finished? You have taught. Has the child learned? Okay, next. Next, please. Okay. Yeah, so this is, see the sample, this is how it is done. It's probably you cannot visualize it until you actually see this kind of a thing in front of your face. See, present level notes that Angela has difficulty making generalizations and answering comprehension questions. That's a very precise statement. The child has difficulty making generalizations and answering comprehension questions. What is the goal? By the end of the class or term, the child will use her knowledge and her life experiences to make generalizations and to answer. Okay, so you have to identify what is the problem. Related to that, you have to have a goal, a manageable goal, a possible goal, a realistic goal. Okay. Using what? Using some particular reading materials with how much accuracy? 90% accuracy. Where? In the classroom tests. Okay, so this is how you would plan. Now, can you imagine if you have not planned? If you don't have a plan like this, you'll be going all over the place. So today we'll do maths, tomorrow we'll do spelling, tomorrow we'll do reading, tomorrow we'll do geography, tomorrow we'll do history. We are doing everything, nothing is happening. But if you have something like this, where can you go wrong? You'll be going in a perfect direction. Okay, next. Okay, lovely. So, are you loving to learn? If you have any questions, just tell me now.
Any questions? Do I have to go to grid?
Anybody wants to ask anything or to mention something, bring something to mind? Okay. Has it been somewhat, is there some clarity coming?
I think so. Nobody is asking any
Okay.
question. Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody's, okay, fine. Okay. If you're getting some clarity and you're beginning to understand the whole concept, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy. Okay. Right. Next. Okay, now let's get down to the action. Okay, what are you going to do? Now we're back to this little thing here. See, identify. We finished defining. We finished exploring. Now we have to start. So now, curriculum remediation means we provide a strong link between the syllabus and the remediation. That means we are going to actually connect history, geography, science with phonics, sight words, comprehension passages, worksheets. Okay, a beautiful concept. Beautiful concept. All the while, we are still keeping in mind very specifically the child's learning differences. Okay, this is very very important because it's what we are doing till now is we are either doing only curriculum or we are doing only remediation or we are alternating. One day we'll do subject, one day we'll do reading spelling, and very rarely do we realize that we should link both and we can link both, especially when children are growing. See, in the first standard, second standard, okay, you can do like this, you can do a bit of remediation here and there. Then when teacher teaches some lesson, you do that, it will work. It won't work when your child hits fourth standard. Fourth onwards, you cannot indulge in this. There's no time to indulge in doing some, oh, come, let's play a word game. Come, let's do a worksheet. See, I printed out such a nice thing. You like sports, right? See, I got a nice story on sports. Shall we read? No, you can't do all that. Every day there's notes. Every day chapters are being completed. There are so many subjects. There's so much work to be completed. There's unit tests to be prepared for. There is homework to be done. Yeah. The focus of the strengths of the learner as the curriculum is explored. Okay, focus is on the strengths of the child. We're not going to say, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't, oh my God, you can't do anything. No, we are going to say, oh wow, you're able to read this full storybook. You're able to read last year's textbook, you're able to read. You're able to write, no, fill in the blanks, all you're able to do. Okay, we are going to focus on the strengths of the child and we're going to start from there. We are going to bridge this remediation and curriculum. We are somehow going to merge it. I'm going to show you now. We're going to merge this remediation and curriculum. Okay, we're going to choose remediation techniques based on the learner's strengths. Now you may be saying, oh gosh, he can't spell, he can't do phonics, he can't read the textbook, he can't read the question on. Okay, so we are going to ask ourselves today, okay, what can a child do? Ask yourself, what can my student do? What can my case study do? What can my remedial child do? What can my own child in my home and my family do? So if your child is good with oral mode, you're going to begin everything with an oral mode. Okay. If your child hesitates orally and prefers the visual mode, we are going to start with the visual mode. Let this be a philosophy in life. Okay, to start with what the child knows, what the child is good at, what is the child's strength. To start with that before you try to rectify what the child cannot do. Okay, that is a basic starting point. Extending strategies and effectively adapting them to the curriculum. Whatever you teach, it should be beneficial to the syllabus. Okay, it should be something that will help in the schoolwork. So if you do something that is unrelated, you should be aware this is unrelated. It's not going to help in the schoolwork. Okay. But if you do activities that are related to the skills used in the schoolwork, it's doubly advantageous. Okay. Did you understand? Would you like an example? Mm, maybe you might think of some game for the child to do. Okay. Playing cards or what else? Um, some board game. Okay. It's good. It's very good. Yes, Padma, 1 second. It's very good. But it is not directly linked to the curriculum. Okay. Supposing you took a list of words from the child's lesson and you did a crossword, that is linked to the curriculum. Okay. Did you understand? There are things that are good, but they may not be linked to your syllabus. It's good for the child, but do you have the time to do all that? Or would you rather use strategies that are help them adapt to the curriculum? Yes, Padma.
Padma has a question.
Yeah.
In, in the chat box, she has typed.
Okay. While doing the curriculum, will the skill not take a hit? Okay, and that's what I'm telling you. Now, what we are doing is we are not telling you to do only curriculum separately. We are telling you exactly how to use only curriculum. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to show you. I need to do this foundation bit. Okay, I need to do this introductory bit so that you understand how this remedial process works. I can't straight away jump into the content. You won't understand. I need you to understand the full circle of the process. It's a way of thinking. It is an approach. So uh, we will tell you how to do it in just a minute. But before that, I need to understand why should I do it? What will happen if I do it? What am I doing when I do one-day remediation? You see, you have to think about all these things. Now, as you're getting more and more into the field, you have to know all the various ways of doing things. Okay, next. Yeah. So why are we going to do curriculum remediation? Because children with special needs find it difficult to understand concepts in a group setup. In the classroom setup, they can't absorb. They have great difficulty learning, and the teacher will only talk, 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 talk. They are not even listening. Now you see online what is happening. My goodness, they are not even listening. The teacher is going on and on talking. The small kids listen. Who is this? Okay. The small kids listen. These kids and all their gadgets. Okay. Children with special needs find it hard to understand concepts in a group setup. They have difficulty learning only through verbal explanations. Therefore, you will need to do something different if you want your child to learn. Okay. Remediation and curriculum remediation should be guided by some sort of an assessment. You can't just start. Okay, parents, teachers, you can't just start out of a goodwill. Okay, you can't say, I'm very interested, I'm so fond of that child, I'm going to try. It should be guided by an assessment in order to gather enough insight to recognize the breakdown in knowledge that children are experiencing. You will not be able to help the child if you do not have this baseline data, no matter how good your intention is and no matter how superb a teacher you are. Okay, the truth is that you need a kind of a baseline data to understand your child. And this baseline data you will be able to get from the assessment report. Then only you will understand where this breakdown in knowledge is happening. Is it necessary to concentrate on academics or on functional goals? I'm telling you how to merge both. Okay, I'm telling you how to merge both. Up till now, we were doing academics one side, curriculum, remedial goals one side. Today I'm telling you, get that division out, get that separation out of your head. I'm asking you to think that you can merge both. I'm asking you to realize that they are both one and the same, if you can believe me. We'll see how. It focuses on the specific omissions in student thinking experience the first time around. Like I said, we have to, and when we do this baseline data, we will specifically understand child has not got these particular skills, child has not absorbed these concepts, child has not able to uh, function at this level, child is not able to describe, child is not able to comprehend, child is not able to frame her own sentences. We will identify that gap that got missed. Curriculum remedial education aims to help the child to catch up with the curriculum expectations. Even if you drill a child day and night, the child will not catch up. I'm sure parents will now agree that we have tried so hard. Um Correct, correct. That's what the specialists say. The specialists say, listen, let's do the special part first. Then we'll do the general part later. Okay. Even among us remedial teachers, for certain children, especially young children, we will say, please don't talk about academics. We would like to do the skill development first. Then we will introduce the academics. So I'm telling you that after you have learned about this, you know, that we do the remedial first and then we do something more general, I would like to tell you that in older children, where you cannot waste time thinking, okay, for a few years we'll do phonics, we'll do remedial methods, we'll do worksheets. For such children where the subjects have started, the tests have started, there are so many demands. For such children, curriculum remediation is the only thing that will help them catch up. You will not lose out on curriculum. I'm telling you, we are using the curriculum now to remediate. Okay, next. I think you are ready to jump into the whole thing. You're absolutely ready to start off. But I still have little more support theory to give you. Okay, see, I want you to understand why it is important. I want you to understand the actual doing part is nothing. You should understand the process behind it. The gains of remedial curriculum based remediation are it enables a child to continue to keep up with the class. Okay. Otherwise, your child will not be able to stay in the same grade. If you don't do curriculum remediation, the child cannot stay at fourth grade. The child cannot stay at third grade. The child cannot stay at sixth grade. The child will start slipping back. Already, your child is 2 grades lower. You know that, right? An early child is usually uh, 2 grades lower comfortable, 1 grade lower half and half, 2 grades lower comfortable. That's the correct starting point for the child, the child with learning disability. Therefore, if you don't do curriculum remediation, further your child will slip back. You are thinking, oh, my child is in sixth standard. Your child is in third standard. Do you know that? Your child is in third standard. If you don't do curriculum remediation, when will you catch up? When will you catch up? Okay. Yes, it has to go together. But I don't mean together as in side by side. I mean absolutely together. I mean it has to merge. That is what I want you to open your mind to. That we are going to, yes, mainstream only. Mainstream children only, I'm telling. When they are sitting in the classroom, and if they are in fourth standard, that means they are actually in second standard. Therefore, you have to do curriculum based remediation really fast, because when they go into fifth standard, please remember they are still in second standard. It's a very, very hard thing for parents to swallow. It's very, very hard when you tell them such things. You see, because for them, school is promoted. School is promoted. He's passed in the school. They have given him some pass grade. They are saying he has problems, yes, but they're okay with it. They don't mind. They have a philosophy of life where the child should have all round exposure. It's not only academics they're worried about. Let me tell you, your school is not going to tell you the facts about your child. Let me tell you, your school is not going to tell you, dear parent, your child is 2 grades lower. Some schools do. Some schools do. They do say your child is 2 grades lower. Your child has failed. We are not going to further promote. Good for them because they are doing hard talking. They're telling you face to face this is the situation, and parents are forced to accept. What about schools that are promoting? Please tell me. So you will reach fifth standard not knowing your child is in second standard, or you will reach seventh standard and then they will say, "We are so sorry, we cannot promote your child. The child is not up to the mark. Your child is blah blah blah." Then that parents will get a shock. Okay, so you must know that your child is going to have problems coping with the curriculum. So that's why the curriculum based remediation enables the child to cope with the age level, grade level curriculum. What happens? Uh, no, I'm assuming the child has moderate to severe learning difficulties. Okay. If a child had mild learning difficulties, the child would not have problems much in coping with curriculum. Okay, the child might have minor issues. Okay, not interested too much to read, doesn't do leisure reading, or can't learn too many spellings. Some spellings are wrong, but otherwise they're able to write answers. That's mild learning disabilities. Yeah, that's another issue. What is mild? What is moderate? What is severe? Okay, so I don't know if what you would say is mild. So for us, if you can't read, it's quite a serious problem. For a school teacher, it might be he can't read, okay, but he's writing. No, it's okay. Or they might say oral language is very weak. It's okay. He studies nicely, he writes nicely. So, but that all that sorry, that's a train. But all that will show in high school. I want you to understand, teachers and parents, I want you to understand all these, what you are calling mild learning problems, it manifests in high school. In high school, they are going to say, "This is your topic. Please write a page." And they're going to cut a mark for every spelling mistake. And if your child doesn't even understand the topic, it's going to be a problem. Okay, so what do? We set the goals as per the academic expectations. So when the teacher does the new lesson, we will also do the new lesson. And when the teacher says, these are the question answers, we will also do question answers. So that the child is familiar with the chapter. The child can feels he's part of the class. He can understand something. He can say some word. He can answer the question. Okay. So, but the way we do it will be fully different. Coming to that in a minute. Just one more minute. I'll get to that. Okay. The goals and learning objectives are reduced chapters, our goals. Reduce the chapters, cut down the number of concepts, ensure that the syllabus is within the child's manageability. Okay, so this is how we are going to do the remedial work. We are going to trim the full thing. We are going to reduce all the unnecessary things, but we are going to use the same content. We are going to do the same chapter reading, the same keywords we are going to teach. Okay, now you will be getting a slight clue how it is going to happen. Okay, next. Okay, fine. So you know the problem, no? In the schools, every child is different, but all have to do the same exam, isn't it? Everybody has different strengths, but all that won't be tested. It can be done in, we are doing curriculum based in groups only. We don't have the luxury of doing one to one. We don't have that luxury. We are teaching in groups of six, six to, yeah, about six is a good number. It can go to eight, it could be four also. Okay, so this teacher is saying for a fair selection, everybody has to take the same exam. And he tells all the animals, please climb that tree. Okay, so this is the way it is. I'll tell you 1 minute. This is the way it is. Every child has to do the same exam. Every child is different, but they have to do the same exam, isn't it? That you must accept. They have to do in the end, at the end of the day, the 10th standard is same for everybody, irrespective of what school you come from. Oh, your school may have provided you so many facilities. It may have given you wonderful personality development, or your school may have given zero personality development, but it would have drilled you nicely in mugging and rote learning. Whatever it is, you will have to do the same exam. Shortage, yeah, because of inadequate number of trained people, lack of awareness, um, not enough centers, not enough teachers. The schools are supposed to provide support, they are not providing support. If at all they have a resource room, hardly one or two or three or four teachers they are keeping for the full school. Okay, so a lot of limitations are there, lots of limitations. Uh, our Indian system has not yet accepted the fact that um, learning support is not some extra thing or some special thing. Okay, right now they feel it is some uh, pampering the child kind of a thing. That they have to put extra money, they have to set up a resource room, they have to pay extra salaries. They are not seeing the long term gains. They're not able to see that overall all the children are improving if we have a phonics session. They're not able to say, oh, overall the children are improving if we have a study skills system. Overall, all the children are doing much better if we have both oral test and written test. All this far-sightedness is not there. Okay, so right now there is lot of we are struggling for so many years. We are fighting a battle, but it's slowly improving. At least now there is some awareness. Okay, so we've been talking ourselves hoarse all our life. um, we are happy with the progress. Okay, so there are lots of measures being given, lot of facilities being extended, and it has been recognized, and board has given so many things. So we are really so thankful that there is progress, even though it is slow. Okay, now let's see what are the steps in actually carrying out this curriculum-based remediation. Yeah, next. Okay, teaching should not be directed by textbooks. Okay, put aside your textbooks, throw the textbooks, keep it in another pile. So don't touch the textbook. Ineffective and mechanical drills should be avoided. Whatever you are doing no, earlier, which did not work, you just stop that. You just stop it. You have to do new things. You have to think of new ways to do. Okay, next. Probably we can't imagine a world no without textbook, without drill. Okay, I'm going to give you 3 steps now to actually do. 3 steps. The first step, choose what you're going to do. Okay, choose which subject do I want to teach my child. How many chapters per subject? How many keywords from each chapter? What are the words I want my child to understand? How many short answers should the child finally write? Finally, end of 3 months, end of 6 months. How many long answers do I want my child to be able to answer in the exam? So, this content you must choose. Okay, you have to prioritize. You can't do all the subjects. You can do a few subjects, core subjects. Choose some core subjects. You can't do all the chapters. You can talk to the teacher. I want to reduce. My child is having difficulty 15 chapters. Can you please tell me which 10 chapters to do? How many keywords? Now it depends on the length of the chapter. It depends on how many questions will come, but you need to have that list. Okay. Then you need to understand step two, how to prepare the material. I told you, no, don't want textbook. So now you're without any material, right? Yeah. So you have to prepare the material. How to present, what should I show my child, what should I tell my child, how to teach, then how much to teach. You have to decide. I've got 1 hour every day. In 1 hour I'm going to do 15 minutes, this much or that much. Okay. I'm going to do one chapter per week. You have to decide. We cannot tell you all that. Okay. The point is, I want you to become methodical. I want you to understand the value of being systematic. I want you to understand you can't do it in any other way. Okay, you can't have this. Today I'm free, I'm in the mood to teach my child. Come, dear child, which all are your books? Let's open. Let's do reading. Oh, so in fact, will not work. Every day, a particular time, already you know what you have to do this week. Already over the weekend on your in the night, you must prepare the material. Okay. Then, how to up the complexity level? Your child is writing, fill in the blanks. How many years your child is writing? From primary, right? You have to up that level. Your child has to move into writing answers, or your child can write short answers. You can't get stuck. You have to teach your child how to write long answers, right? So you have to increase the complexity of your goal. It's not about, I want my child to write question answers. It is about, my child should write 2-line answers, 4-line answers, 6-line answers. If you don't keep that focus, it won't get achieved. Okay. And it is essential to the child. You cannot afford to not get the child to this level. Every child has to write long answers. That's all about it. There's no question of cannot read, cannot spell, comprehension. No, you break it downwards and you work upwards. Okay. This also you might find daunting. You might say, oh my God, break it down, then start working up. Okay. Step three, we have to align the remedial activity with the class activity. If your child is going to be given a dictation in 10 days' time, your spelling test should be of those words so that the child is prepared for dictation. There should be a connect of the evaluation, that is the test, with the instruction, the teaching, and vice versa. Whatever I am teaching, I should test. Whatever the child has to be tested, I should teach. In terms of content, that means this chapter, these words, as well as testing criteria. Teachers not giving dictation, teachers giving fill in the blanks. But my child has to know spelling of all those words. So I am going to teach spelling of these words. Okay, you should be aware what is going to happen in the class. What am I doing? Is there some link? It has to connect. Okay, these are the question answers in the notebook. I see. We have to prepare the child for these answers. What should we do? Let us take some of those answers and start. Okay, so the content will be from the class. The content will be from the notebook. Even the testing criteria. Okay, in this school they give only worksheets. So I bet, am I doing worksheets? You are not doing worksheets. You have to do worksheets. Okay. Or in this school they do only short answers, no objective type, only short answers. Are you doing short answers? No, you're not doing short answers. So make sure it overlaps. Make sure everybody is doing the same thing. However, not at the same level. Okay, remember we've already reduced the chapters. Okay, and we've already planned that the goals must start from down and be built up. Okay. So then, see, there are some examples I've given. Spellings, what will you do? The spellings of keywords. Reading, what are you going to do? The same keywords. Vocabulary, word meanings, fill in the blanks, what are you going to do? The same keywords. Fill in the blanks from question, same keywords. Phonics, same. Okay, so you are using the material from the lessons instead of racking your head searching for interesting stories, comprehension passages. You will simply take the material from the book. From your textbook, you make a list of the concepts and you start creating a summary, you start creating the main words, and you're going to teach using that. Then you're not wasting time. Okay, you're not going to say, oh, first we'll do hat pat mat, first we'll do sight words, first we'll do flashcards. Okay, now come. What should we do for no, it's going to be all together. You're going to say, oh, what are the keywords? Come, let's read. You're going to make flashcards using those keywords. You're going to create worksheets using those keywords. So, what is happening? Your worksheet is no more some random topic. Your worksheet is now very specifically parts of the body, countries and their cities, countries and their capitals, uh, climate and pollution. Okay, so your content becomes focused. At the same time, you're going to still continue with the reading and the spelling and the understanding. Okay, next. Okay, okay. So, step one. Remember, we said we have to choose. Okay, so we have to choose the subject. What subject do you want to teach at home? Now, remember, we are not doing general remedial. We have come into this very specific curriculum remedial. So now you have to choose. I'm going to choose science. Say, what grade is your child in? Choose your grade level. Identify what level your child actually is in. Okay. So we have seen most children around grade 5 or 6, they are actually around grade 2. Okay. There is a big gap from grade 2 to grade 3, and they are not able to cope with that gap. So we find they are very comfortable around grade 2. Okay. What about the maths? Fine. Choose a maths. Choose a concept. Choose a concept. Don't take all the difficult sums. Take the initial sums. Do some extra simple sums. Then you make you remember we said we're going to up the level. Then you take it to a slightly difficult sum until you reach the class level sums. Same approach, same method, whether it is maths or science or social. Okay. You choose your subject, you choose your concept, you choose your chapter. Ask yourself, what do you want your child to do finally? What is the final expectation? Most of us would say to write short answers. Okay, that would be our final short answers to write. We're happy if the child can write short answers. Okay, now you need to break down the short answers. To write the short answers, it is not a question of you study, it is here, read it, spell it, write it. You have to break it down into skills. If I want to write short answers on parts of the body, what all do I need? That is not science. Okay. Sub skills for writing is not science. So for that, see what all I will need. Oh my goodness, I will need to read. I should understand. I should spell. I should be able to have answered at least objective type answers. Then only I can write short answers. So, whatever your final expectation is, you need to understand the skill needed for that. You need to break it down. Perhaps your child can do the first two. You may know you did not mention it. The child has no problem with reading, don't mention reading. The child can understand everything the child reads, don't mention comprehension. You'll go straight from spelling onwards. Okay, so or you may have to do from or instead you might have to substitute. Each child is different. You might say, grammatical thing is very bad, it needs help, doesn't have that skill, or oral skill is fine, but written level is not okay. So you must decide what skills your child needs to do the short answers. That is the big question. Can you break this down into some skills? Okay. Now to remember, it's not about the marks, it's about the learning. It's not about the knowledge, it's about the skill. It's not about the content, it's about the understanding. If you shift this orientation, you can do curriculum remediation beautifully. Okay, the problem with curriculum is that we connect it to all kinds of other things. We have got stuck in that mode. Curriculum means so many textbooks, so many chapters, so many subjects, so many teachers, so many tests. When we are working with the child, will they also be attending school in parallel? That's just the plan. That is the plan. The plan is that you identify your child early and we move simultaneously. So the child comes to us in second standard, we establish second standard skills. When the child goes into third, those skills needed, we are able to build it up. That would be ideal. But it doesn't happen because of the lag. Okay, by the time the child comes, a lot of skills are lacking. So, but we still do. We still do. We say, what are you doing this week? Which chapter did teacher do? Show me the chapter. We take down the keywords. So it does go hand in hand. That is the whole idea, that the child remains connected in the class. Okay. That the child can relate to what is happening. Okay. See the up oval, don't forget clarity. Clarity is the need of the moment. You have to be very clear. I am going to do this with this intention for this purpose. This is what I want to achieve. So people who are successful have got this under their tight grasp. What am I doing? Why am I doing? For what I should do? In what time will I do it? Then they're able to work very efficiently. Okay, next. Okay, more insight into the step two. See what is the content that we are going to use. So your content is what we are calling purely curriculum based. Okay, from pure remediation, we have moved to pure curriculum. Fine, lovely. So you are going to make a list of the keywords. See, blah 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 blah, for every subject in every chapter. Every chapter, you're going to make a list. Geography, lesson 1, keywords. Social studies, lesson 1, keywords. Uh, Whatever you want. Literature, lesson 1, keywords. So you will have a list of keywords. Now, what are the words you want to do for reading? What is the content you want your child to do for reading? What is the material you want to do for reading? You will prepare a summary of the lesson. No more stories. We have moved away from stories. We have progressed from stories. You are going to prepare a summary of the lesson. Okay, in brief. Or you may adapt the lesson. What does adapt the lesson mean? You, in terms of quantity, you can reduce it. You can make it a bit easier. You can eliminate chunks of it. Okay. So you adapt the lesson so that you know the child, it's at the child's level. Fine. Or you can modify it. What is modify it? The full thing is there, but reduced. Okay. In a simpler fashion, it is presented to the child. Did you understand? You must have a list of keywords. These keywords are in this reading content, the summary or the adapted or modified version of the lesson. Okay. Then you want the child to spell, right? You want the child to spell. So the same words that are going to be in your answers, those are the words that become your keywords. Okay, look at the notebook. From the notebook, take the main words that are needed for the answers. That becomes your keywords. With that, you will do reading. With that, you will do spelling. See, same as keyword list. Okay, you understood why? This is the same words that will come in the answers. Then look here. There are words for fill in the blanks and short answers. See, it's same as the keyword list. Using your keyword list, you will prepare all possible questions. All possible questions. You will prepare fill in the blanks, you will prepare short answers, you will prepare sentences, you will prepare uh, match the following. Okay, are you getting it? This content is from this first box. The first box is used for the second box. Second box is used for third box. Third box is used for fourth box. Fourth box is used to make all possible exercises. All possible exercises. So every answer you have to convert it into one word answers, fill in the blanks, all kinds of objective types. So that big long answer, right? Break it up now. Break it up into three, four short answers. Break it up into fill in the blanks. Break it up into match the following. Getting it? Look at it and see if you can absorb this methodology. Ask me anything you want. Okay, next. Okay, so you are clear about step one. You have to choose the content. Choose, decide. Okay, you have to uh, finalize. Okay, out of 10 chapters, I'm doing 5. Out of 20, I'm doing 10. Out of 4 poems, I'm doing 1 poem. The keywords will be from the entire chapter. Yes, from the entire chapter. Remember, your chapter, you have compressed it. You may say entire chapter, but we have compressed it. We have now made it 5 pages instead of 10. We have rewritten everything. It's now very manageable for the child. See, earlier, just looking at it is upsetting. Just looking at it, it is, you feel, as parents, we feel like crying, as teachers, we feel like crying. What more for the child? So now we have made it very presentable, visually acceptable. Okay, the child should read the keywords. Your child should be able to spell the keywords. Your child should do all kinds of simple exercises using those keywords. Your child should be able to make sentences. You're really going to juggle and play and do maximum work you can with those keywords. Okay, just think it's a game. People have told you only these words you have. What all can you do with it? So taking that as your challenge, you have to say, okay, what all can I do with it? Oh, I can make flashcards. Oh, I can do syllabication. Oh, I can do make sentences. Oh, I can do sequencing. I can do oral language. Um, I can do word meanings. I can do true and false. I can do complete the following. Okay, you understood how it's crossword. Yeah, enjoy. Do whatever you want. You're free. You have with this content as much as you want, you can enjoy. What should your child be able to do? Now, that is a nice question. You must have some goals. Simply, you can't say, I made a nice reduced, I've made modified chapter, I've done adaptation, or these are the words. Your child should be able to read. Under that, furthermore, you should be able to say what words you want your child to read. What do you want your child to read? Do you want your child to read one syllable words, two syllable, multi-syllable, words with two-letter blends, three-letter blends, suffixes, prefixes? You are free to build your curriculum program endlessly. Whatever you want, you can do with this. But it will have to be only with these keywords. Then child should be able to spell keywords. So how will you do that? You have to have some goals. I want my child to be able to orally spell. Then I want my child to be able to do a see close write exercise. Then I want my child to be able to syllabicate. I want my child to be able to take dictation. Okay, so you should know what your goals are for each category. Child should be able to do objective type exercises using the above words. So train your child now. Now the child knows, right, to read, spell. Now move the child into one word answers, um, fill in the blanks. Child should be able to comprehend and make short sentences using the above words. If my child can make a short sentence, then the child can write an answer. Okay. So your remedial activity is making a short sentence. How will it link to curriculum? It will help the child write a short answer. Okay, next. Now we are in the thick of it. Okay, I'm sure you're understanding. Oh, this is how it happens. Okay, if you don't, you just stop me. Step three, you have to make sure that you correlate the academics with the remedials. Both have to go hand in hand, as somebody said. I can't do some remedial activity in one direction, then do an academics in another direction. Both have to be related. Okay, look, child should be able to learn to read. Correct. Very good. So you will say child should be able to learn to read science chapter 1, social studies chapter 2, literature chapter 3. Good. What is the remediation you are going to do? You must have that plan. So I am going to do phonics with chapter 1 keywords. I have to do sight word recognition for chapter 2. I have to do fluency comprehension for chapter 1. Okay. Then you want your child to spell. You want your child to spell for that dictation test, right? Okay. So you are going to do spelling limitation. Now using those keywords, you ask your child starting sound, ending sound, medial sound, how many syllables, substitute the sounds, add one sound. Yeah, all those beautiful things that you have read about, tried, done in a fun way. You are going to do it now very seriously with geography, with biology. Okay. Child should be able to do objective type exercises. That is your academic goal. Why? Because teacher is going to give, right? Fill in the blanks, complete the following. Yeah. How will we do the remedial? We are going to do some comprehension worksheets where the child has to choose the right word, match the word with the meaning, true and false, match the pictures to the word. All these things will help you to get the child to do this objective test. If your child can do all these in the remedial session, the right side, when the child goes to school, the child will do that fill in the blanks chapter exercise. I hope you are seeing the link. I hope you are seeing the connection. I hope you are seeing how both work a lot even hand in hand. They kind of spill one into the other. They merge. Now, last one, child should be able to comprehend or make sentences for short answers. Okay, so this is the goal everybody wants. No, finally, at the end of the day, child should write short answers. So, what to do for that? Remedial wise, you will start teaching the child complete the following. If you teach complete the following, the child will automatically write one line answer. Then you will teach the child See, you know that answer, no, and you know this answer, no, both right, both together. Then what will you get? You'll get a two sentence short answer. Then you start teaching the child mind maps. Then you'll tell the child, see now, for this concept, this is the mind map, right? Bring it to your mind. Now you write sentences on all the things that connect. You'll get long answer. Forget short answers. We have gone straight to long answers. Okay. Related topics to build word association, comprehension, and writing. So you need to be very clear on this left side, this right side. What is academically, what is the child required to do in class? How can I accomplish that in my remedial time? Okay. No questions. Everybody is little stunned, I think. Huh? Is it too heavy? Or are you still trying to see, oh God, where does this all connect? Yeah? I hope you're getting a kind of a circle. Oh, it's all the same thing. Oh, it's all actually one and the same. It's all connected. Oh, this will actually lead to that. That will actually, you must see that. You have to see it that way. It's like all this while you were separating everything. So I want you to understand that it's for you, it's actually the one thing that you are breaking up. It's not separate things, it's just one thing that you are breaking up. Now I'm asking you, can you merge them all back into one? Then you will get curriculum repetition. Okay, next. Yeah. So we have gone through our three steps. Do you remember? We said first you need to choose, then you need to prepare. What are you going to prepare? How are you going to prepare? And step three, make sure that whatever you do is for the purpose of the school work, for the benefit of the class work. This is only for middle school and above. For the small babies, no hurry. You can enjoy, do whatever beautiful things they want. Every day, one different topic you can choose. But not once they reach middle school. Once they hit fourth standard and above, I don't think you have much choice. I think you have to go this way only. Okay? You'll only have to do this. Will the mind map be only with keywords, or it can include more different words? Um, the remedial work would include all other words. Supposing you have an extra day, do some different words. Supposing it's during holidays, do something the child enjoys, do something fully different. When we are doing the chapter, we want to keep only the chapter words. When we are doing curriculum remediation, you can include in that words that the child is already comfortable with. But we are not going to challenge the child further. The challenge will be only for curriculum words, the content words, the chapter words. Okay, so we are going to choose, then we are going to prepare. You cannot do if you're unprepared. Then you're going to make sure at all times you're going to go back and say, oh, this activity, it was not really matching this. Step three was not really happening in step two. I should prepare the material in such a way that even in everything is connected with the classwork. Oh, step three is not matching step one. I chose the wrong thing. I should have chosen the latter few chapters. Teacher's not gone and asked. She's asked only this end chapter. She's not asked the first few chapters. Okay, so all these three constantly have to keep checking. Am I on the right track? Did I choose correctly? Did I prepare correctly? Did I align correctly? Uh, the problem is that you will get frustrated at some point if you don't do this work, and you will come full stop. You will just tell us, oh, my case study full failure. Nothing happened. It can't be like that. It can't be. There is no question of failing. There is no question of failing. It's a 100% sure process we are telling you. If you choose correctly, if you prepare correctly, if you align correctly, you will see gorgeous progress. Your child will finish school like that. Your child will clear 10th standard, no problem. We have enough and more kids who have passed out of 10th standard from Brindavan. And we're talking severe illness, severe. Schools couldn't keep them. Nobody could manage them. They passed 10th. They're all doing very well. So you must understand, if you do things the correct way, it will work out. Okay, next. So now I'm going to actually show you. Yeah. So I had this lovely student who did this lovely work, and thanks to her, I didn't have to do any further lovely work, because in this short time, I really would not have done such beautiful work actually. So I just asked Swarna, please, can I use your worksheets, Swarna? And she just said yes without hesitation. Swarna, if you're here, I owe you a big, big thank you. Okay, and if you're not, I'm definitely going to tell you to what good use these worksheets have been put to.
I'm
Lovely.
here. Thank you
So
very much.
she took this chapter. Yay, Swarna's there. Beautiful. So this is Swarna's work. Okay, she took this 20-page lesson. It was such a boring thing. You know how our textbooks look? It's just content, black and white. Even if it is color, it's just too much. You know, there's information, then there is some tables, then there is some activity box, then there is some suggestion box. Have you seen the textbooks? You just don't know where to start. Okay, so the whole chapter is coming to more than 20 pages. How will a child do 10 chapters per subject? So she just reduced the whole thing. We just slashed this down to the core essence. I need to see only what I need to know. I don't want anything else in anything else. And I remember her asking me, what if it's interesting? And I said, no, I don't want it. I don't want it. Even if it's interesting, even if it is wonderful idea, I don't want it for now. I only want basic essentials, bare necessities. So the chapter came down to some 4 5 pages. Can you believe it? This is a wonderful idea. Every chapter you have to cut it down. It's work, but nobody else will do it, you see. Nobody's going to help our kids. We only have to help them. Teacher's not going to do it, tuition teacher's not going to do it. You and I have to take the time and the effort and cut it down. You see, if you're going to do this on a regular basis as a teacher, once you have every concept ready, it's there for life. Okay, so once you have this concept of plants ready, any child comes, you can use it. So it's not that it's a terrible effort. It's a very worthwhile effort. Okay, it's a treasure that you can collect. Okay, so this whole chapter, can you see? There is minimal reading. Yeah. So, can you see that the words are just standing out? Child doesn't have to search, oh, where to start reading, what to read, what to underline, what to study. Child doesn't have to do all that. Child just has to look and say, okay, these are the herbs, these are the shrubs. It's so clear. Oh, these are the parts of the leaf. These are the functions. This is the way you will prepare the lesson. Okay, next. Okay, continue to enjoy. Okay, so you will just provide very beautiful nutshell of the topic. See the beautiful box keywords? That is your main lifeline. That is your lifeline. If you have keywords, you will know what to do. If you don't select keywords, you will be looking at the chapter as a whole. You will be thinking to yourself, 20 pages. If you pick keywords, you'll tell yourself 20 words, we can do something. 20 words, we can do many things we can do with 20 words. Okay, next. Begin with the baseline observations. You remember I told you? You have to identify your problem. We're back to this thing. Identify. You remember what you said? You have to Figure out your child's problem. Did you say your child had a spelling problem? Keep that in your mind. Did you say your child has a comprehension problem? Keep that in your mind. Over the years, it's going to spill into everything. And 2, 3 years down the line, you're going to say, oh, this, that, that, that. Where did it start? Where did it start? Sometimes when we assess the child, we ask the parents silly questions. Did your child sing nursery rhymes? It might sound totally irrelevant. It's crucial to our baseline data. If the parent says, actually, no, the child was not very fond of nursery rhymes, at once alarm bell for us. Huh? Never sang nursery rhymes? Why? Then we will start checking the phonics, we will start checking sequencing. Okay, so baseline data is very important. Identify. Always remember your child's specific learning needs. My child has special, only spelling is the main thing. Okay, reading is a problem, comprehension problem, writing but the spelling is the urgent thing. Every keyword is wrong. Every spelling is wrong. The page is all red. Okay. Remember your goals. What is the thing you want to do with your child? You have to have some specific goals. I want my child to do objective type in 3 months or 1 month. I want my child in 3 months to write answer. Fine. Then you must understand the techniques. Okay, my child is a visual learner. Let me use visual ways of teaching. Oh, my child doesn't learn very well visually, but the child is very interested when I tell. Auditory learner. Can you imagine if you don't get all this straight? Supposing you mix up everything, terrible it'll be. Supposing you say, oh, child has reading, spelling, writing, comprehension, this, that, handwriting. Oh, and the child is auditory learner and you teach visually. Or child is visual, you teach auditory. Very bad it will be. Okay. You must be very clear on your baseline matter. Okay, next. Okay, lovely. So now under reading, we said you must prepare the material. Step 2. So see, you have to, what are you going to do for reading? You'll be having some ideas. Whatever you want to do, but you use these keywords. Don't forget this keyword list. That is your main link. Okay, the keyword list is your key. Okay, so see up what I've done in the box. Plan your work. 2 minutes phonics, 2 minutes flashcards, 2 minutes see close right. Then you can do 5 minutes something, 5 minutes this, that. So totally you'll get maybe 20 minutes, half an hour. Precious. Every minute is precious. If you don't plan like this, 10 minutes will go for one activity. 10 minutes will go by the time you say, which book are we doing? Where is your notebook? Give me. What was last time? You can't do all that. Before the child comes, have everything ready. Then you know, come, let's start. Here, these are your flashcards. Finish, come. We'll do phonics. Okay, come. Open your book, Will. It's this page. No, it's page 37. Open to page. Like that, you have to work. Otherwise, in 1 hour, nothing will get done. You will be still searching. Now, look at this worksheet. She has created a reading worksheet. So, can you see the word box? The keywords are used. The keywords are very clear. Child has no confusion. Simply look at the keywords, read those words. Try and fill it here. She's given picture. So supposing you cannot read the full sentence, simply look at the picture. Put in the correct word. Word is given to you. Any child will be able to do this. And they'll feel so good doing this. And when you revise, they'll know it. It becomes knowledge for them. Thereby, all these keywords will slowly get absorbed, familiarized, comfortable. Next, some more worksheets for you to get a clear idea how we do curriculum remediation. Okay, see, using the keywords, we are going to do syllabification. Don't bring storybook. I have to teach my child syllabification, bring storybook. No, bring the lesson. Bring the lesson. Do with the lesson itself. Want to teach improve your child's vocabulary? Take the words from the lesson. Want to improve comprehension? Take the words from the lesson. Okay, next. How fast time goes, no? Suddenly I'm seeing it's almost time up. Okay. See, some more worksheets. Very clear. Boxes are given, picture is given, down the words are given, child has to read, child has to copy. Once the child knows it, you can eliminate that down box. Just give the worksheet to the child. You can create whatever teaching aids you wish, but you have to use the words from the lesson. Okay? That is the shift that you're going to do from today onwards. You're going to substitute all your fun activities. It still remains fun, but you get your classwork done in double the time, half the time. Are you teaching sight words with intention? So, whatever sight words you are teaching, why don't you place it in the words of your answers? Okay, why don't you help your child read sight words within the chapter? Science teacher says, no, 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 English is not my work. Grammar is not my work. But the problem is that it goes together. Your child will not read science if your child can't read. So we can't say reading is English. We can't say sight words is English. Reading is reading in every subject. So whatever words you want to teach, place it within the curriculum. Next. Ah, so we said we must connect the remedial to the syllabus at all times. How will you do that? You will keep some time frames. This is not some 5 year government program. Okay, this is not a 5 year plan. This is a 5 month plan. Within 5 to 6 months, what are you going to achieve? Have you wasted 5 to 6 months? You may have. You're wasted. Don't forget, clock is ticking. Your child is growing older. Every 6 months, your child is growing older. So, from now for the next 3 months, what will you do? Plan. How many keywords per week? What all? How much phonics? I must do little of everything. I must do keywords. I must do phonics. I must do visual memory. I must do regular words. I must do irregular words. See down what goal is there. Have your content. Have your time frame. Have a goal, a criteria, testing. Simple short reading, keyword meaning, whatever you want to do right in remedial, do it. But you use the textbook words. You use your summary. You use your adapted lesson. And you keep your goals. Keep your goals. Should be able to read familiar sentences without assistance. That is my goal. What goal would you put? Okay. By Jan, the child should be able to read words 90% accuracy. By March, April, we want child to read familiar sentences without assistance. By June, what child should be able to do? Fluent with the entire lesson and the question and answers. Only reading, only reading. It's possible. You don't waste time, it will happen. It's not difficult. We are only doing keywords. With that keywords, we are teaching the child to do exercises. With that, we are combining to form answers. Okay. See down before after. This is a handwriting program. Child who can barely form letters, it's possible to write beautifully within a few months. Okay, next. So here are some spelling worksheets that she did for science. So she chose those keywords, remember? Those keywords, she's done a worksheet saying look, say, cover. There is a method called see close write. Okay. So look, say, cover, write, check. So it covers all the sensory modes: visual, auditory, um, tactile, plus the recall. Then on the right side, look at the picture, complete the spelling. Okay, so here are some keywords, parts of the leaf, and in between the letters are missing. Supposing you think your child is having problem with spelling, you want to do some remedial activities, go ahead, use the keywords. Okay. So you can do sequencing, you can do revisualization, you can do discrimination, you can do figure ground, you can do everything with your lesson, your special lesson, your adapted lesson. Okay, next. Yeah. So I wanted to show you how to do simple syllabification. See, you don't have to prepare those fancy worksheets. Don't get scared thinking I can't do all that. You don't have to do all that. You just have to do it what I have done. Just take paper, copy down the keywords, ask the child, can you break up these words? So and draw a line wherever you can to break up the sounds. So the child will learn how to do syllabification for science words. Reticulate, stomata, pollen, mid, rib, climber. So your phonics is accomplished, your syllabification is accomplished, and the same time that keywords is instilled time and again. Okay, next. Some more beautiful worksheets. Huh? Now we are on written expression. Now remember, child knows how to read, child knows how to spell. We've done remediation for all that. We have reached written expression. So the worksheet is very uh, simple and direct and clear for the child to do. Tell me now, which child cannot do this? The child has to look at the picture and write the name of the plant. When the child writes, the child is recalling the spelling of the keyword. That is what we want. Okay. Then labeling plants. She's given the keyword box. You need not give the keyword box, but the keyword box is there for starters. Okay. So they have to fill in the box. Then they have to read the definition. So many things you can do, right? If you just prepare a few worksheets, with these worksheets you can do many activities. Circle the correct answer. See, objective type, right? We were talking about. With the science lesson, you can create exercises. Our child has to just circle the correct answer. Read. All the words contain the keywords. All the sentences contain the keywords. So now the child is so familiar with this content. Child is able to handle it. Okay, next. Yeah, moving on to comprehension and association, recall. When you want the child to do some understanding work, some association, some classification, some compartmentalization, you want the child to associate, link up certain things. See? So the box is given, the categories are given, types of plants, types of roots, parts of a flower. Child has to understand, oh, petal, what does petal come? Which box does petal belong to? Trees, which box will trees go into? Shrubs, like that the child will easily fill it up. Explain why STEM is called two-way street by completing main idea supporting. Okay, like a mind map she's given, main idea. Then the child gives one or two details about it. So don't you think the child can easily develop academic skills through curriculum remediation? I'm sure you can see how it's taking. It's going to snowball. In no time, the child will be able to do short answers. I'm sure you can see how it's leading. Okay, next. Then you can create maps for the concept maps for the children regarding water. These are the things regarding plants. What are all the things connected? Child, you can ask the child to talk about it. You can ask the child to explain, make sentences, connect it. Lots of things you can do. For comprehension, you can have a list of questions. These things you can ask anybody
Correct. Chapter. You have two
for every
chapters.
chapter. For every chapter, you can do this. You can ask the child these questions. Why does this happen? How do you know this is the
You are
effect?
high.
Do you agree with this? Why do you think of that? Tell me one reason about this. Can you give me one example about that? Where can you find this in the lesson? Okay, some general lists if you keep, you can use it for every lesson. Okay, next. Okay, so we are back to this little thingy on the left. Once you identify, you need to define it. Once you define it, you should explore it. Once you explore, you should act. After you act, you must look back. You must check. Is it going on track? Did I zone in correctly to the words? Did I get the right answers? Did I break it down correctly? Correctly meaning, was it effective? I cannot say, well, you did it wrong. Was it effective? Did it help your child? Then it is correct. Does your child need curriculum based remediation? Look at your child's work and ask yourself if this is the work of a third standard child, ask yourself, does the child need or not? I will not tell you. We need parents to tell for themselves. Yes, our child needs. If we recognize the child's errors, we will redirect the child's efforts and rectify errors to avoid more intensive remediation at a later stage. Big sentence. But the thing is this, if you straight away set something right, it won't become a worse problem when the child is bigger. This should happen regularly without a formal process or without even an awareness of intentional reteaching. How beautiful, no? If all teaching happens like this, if all teaching we are aware, child is not picked up, let me slow down. Child is finding this difficult, let me supplement. Child is not able to pick up on that, let me change the way I've spoken. Okay, next. Timely remediation. Ideally, remediation is done early in the learning process before additional skills are layered in. How much we beg parents, how much we speak to teachers. Please bring the child early. Please identify early. Once the identification is done, please assess. Once the report is there, please seek help. Why? People think primary, it's okay, we'll see in middle school. Or school is promoting, it's okay. School is fine till now, they are saying they will keep the child. No, you see what is going to happen. Additional skills are going to get layered in. More and more things are going to be taught to the child. More and more things are going to be needed of the child. We cannot go to such a depth when you have come with everything, not seen to. But if you come very early in the process, first standard, second standard, by third standard, child is fine. Child is fine. But if you come at third standard, then it takes us till fifth standard. 2 years we need to get your child steady. After that, we have to handhold the child. Another 2 years. Okay, next. Okay. So on a closing note, on the whole, curriculum-based remedial program helps the child to enjoy the process of learning. We are doing it no, in such a fun way, reduces the stress level of the child because we tell the child, how much can you do? Is this okay for you? Shall we do like this? Most importantly, child will give her best to the performance as per the grade level. That's the most beautiful thing. Child is happy to do. Child is happy to study. Child is happy to participate in the class lesson. Parents should compare improvement of the child with their own performance, with the child's own performance, rather than with other children. We have to come out of this. Please, we have to come out of this. We have to say, my son could not read last year. This year, my son is able to read. My son was doing so many errors last year in spelling. This year, the errors have reduced. This will motivate the child to work hard. Otherwise, what will happen? He's failing last year, he's failing this year. Again, is this continuing? The remedial tutor would not only focus on quantitative performance of the child in academics, but focuses also on qualitative. This is the best thing. Okay. So we are teaching the studies, we are teaching subject, we are teaching chapter in a very qualitative manner. We are checking at every stage. Can the child read, understand, comprehend? Are we improving vocabulary? Is the sentence taking improving? Can the child write answers? The curriculum-based remedial program is a team effort. Remedial instructor, parents, child, we all have to work together. If the parent has some problem and doesn't understand us, difficult. If the child doesn't cooperate, difficult. This curriculum remediation, it goes simultaneously with it would be wonderful if it went simultaneously. If you bring a child on time and we can go simultaneously, we do go simultaneously. We do go simultaneously. But if you bring your child late, the child is already lagging behind. How can we go simultaneously? Next. Okay. So plan, people. That's all you need to do. Have a good plan in place. Okay, so my son looked at this slide and he was so happy. He said, I understood what you're trying to say. I said, okay, what did you understand? He said, you must think, you must get an idea, you must plan it out well, then you must do it perfectly. I said, yes. And then we're on the right track. So we were both very happy with this slide. But look on the left. See, this teacher has got a nice plan. She says for every topic, she has this before the activity, after the activity. Then, even within that period, she has a purpose, she has a strategy, she has a procedure. Amazing, no? Okay, next. Some more lesson plans for you to see. Okay, you don't have to read the minute thing. I just want to see overall how you must plan. You must have a time frame, you must have an expectation, you must know how you're going to assess, you must know the procedure before what you're going to do, then during the uh, something what you're going to do, after that how will you check. Okay, then this side she has listed some skills, some indicators, what she wants to teach the child, then some learning objectives, how at the end of that session what is the child going to know, how will you test it. Okay, after 2 days I'm going to check it. Okay, next. Finally, just to sum up, I want to tell you that just remember, if you can teach the child one word, it will lead to the child being able to do a one sentence answer. If your child can do a one sentence answer, we will teach the child two answers to combine into one answer. Two sentence answers you will get. Then we will teach the child to combine three questions into one answer. You'll get a short answer. After some time, we'll teach the child, you combine this short answer and this short answer, you've got a long answer. Okay, very, very possible. Okay, next. Next and last, I think. Okay, yeah. So, some beautiful worksheets of a single child. A single child. So, this worksheets were given to me by Vijaya Mahadevan. Big thank you, Vijaya, because I don't have any copies of children's work. I don't know why we don't keep. You see, we do so much of work over the years, we can't keep over the years, but really we should find a good practice of storing everything, filing everything. So I just asked Vijaya and she straight away said, I've got, I'll send you. So look at the same child, mind you. Same child. This is at the assessment. First box on the left is assessment. Child was not able to do, see the level of the child. Okay, just some 4 letter words itself, so many spelling errors. Can you see gradually the remediation? What all has happened? Child is writing short answers. So beautiful. Actually, I could have shown you much more work. But Brindavan, everything is closed, so we can't go and fish out from the cupboards anything. But I'm just so thankful to Vijaya for giving me this sample.